Nollywood is a multi-billion-dollar industry, doing well not just on streaming platforms but also shining at the box office. It is considered the second largest film industry in the world by volume, producing over 2,500 films and creating about 1 million jobs annually. With movies reaching parts of the world many Africans can only dream about. What narratives have been subconsciously pushed, and how is African film and story culture shaping our perception in the global scene? Let's find out together. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.
On a tendance à voir dans les films Nollywood, hein. Voilà, les Nigériens là, ce côté-là, ce moment-là, je ne sais pas si c'est vrai, hein. Voilà, côté Zamou là, ah, non, si ce côté-là, ce moment-là, nous on a perdu.
Bon, au Nigeria, ce que je déteste au Nigeria, bon, c'est le fait de pratiquer la sorcellerie. Pour ils sont enfants là-bas, ils sont forts là-dedans. C'est que tu peux sortir et te perdre comme ça, quoi. Tu vas disparaître, on ne pas savoir là où tu es. Ils sont forts là-bas dedans. C'est ce que j'aime pas chez eux là.
Over the weekend, I watched 4 movies with my friends: Night and Day, Caramello, Farmer's Bride, and the fourth one that I cannot remember the name right now. Even though I cannot remember the name, I can still remember the story, which is why it's important that we put out positive stories that even when people don't remember our names, they can remember the countries that we represent for good. Now, I'm going to share a synopsis or a little story of all of these movies I watched, and I'll tell you the messages that they left me with. One of those movies I watch is Night and Day. Night and Day is an American movie where a regular girl who's a mechanic meets a spy man who's working covertly, and they have to trust each other to get through a situation together. After meeting on a plane, they have to save a friend, take out the bad guys together, and subconsciously that leaves you with an impression that Americans trust each other, Americans are patriotic, and these people are just really good people, right? Looking after one another. The next movie I watched is Caramello. Caramello is a Brazilian movie, and it is a story of a stray dog being saved by a sous chef who later discovered he had cancer thanks to the dog, which he ended up adopting, and then he fell in love with the dog trainer, and he had to bring the communities together to make koshina and save the dog shelter from death. This movie shows love, it shows community, it shows that there's selflessness in Brazil, and it introduces you to a Brazilian dish called koshina. I never heard about this food until I watched this movie, and now I have something to look forward to when I happen to visit Brazil, which is a country I would really love to go to. The third one I watched, which I cannot remember the name, the story is the story of someone who was in the Marine, a really great soldier. He got injured and probably couldn't go back to war. And while he was in medical care, someone from the CIA had come to get him back into university to finish his PhD and go work on Wall Street covertly. At some point, he had to even travel, choose the job above like family to make sure that the country is safe. That shows you patriotism. You get the kind of message that passes across, right? And now let's get to the Nigerian movie that I watched. Now, shout out to the people that made this movie. The storytelling is amazing, cinematography is dope, but I'll share the story with you right now. In this movie, a young girl is giving off to an old man, an old farmer who she does not love. So she ended up killing the farmer to marry his nephew. And somewhere along the lines of the movie, she also ended up killing the nephew's ex-girlfriend after she kind of found out that they killed the farmer. The nephew's mother is a spiritualist or a traditionalist who had to do some traditional spiritual stuff to kill the people who killed the man. And her son ended up dying, which is the nephew to the man, ended up dying alongside the young lady, and she was even pregnant for the man, the old farmer. Basically, they all died, right? So now, what does this story leave you with? It leaves you with betrayal, it leaves you with infidelity, it leaves you with juju, as they call it.
Par exemple, au Nigeria, quand tu passes, il y a les médicaments. Ceci, c'est ce que nous, c'est ce qu'on voit. Tu peux te informer à temps. On ne sait pas si ce qu'on nous montre dans les films, c'est ce qui se passe en réalité.
C'est les films là, ils sont anciens films.
Ce sont les anciens films. Mais actuellement là, ça date d'aujourd'hui là, ça continue. Hein?
Now, in as much as it's a very beautiful movie, and from some perspective, you can actually say the movie teaches you what not to do. Also, imagine someone who is being introduced to Africa for the very first time, and that movie is the first thing they watch, and that will be the first memory, first impression that they have of Nigeria or Nigerians or Nigerian villages. Right, so it's very important that we are very conscious of the nuances that we put in our videos, which is why I, for one, make it my business to put out positive stories as much as possible. which is quite difficult, but you know, we try as much as possible to do that, right? Because with the way the internet works, whatever is more populated on the internet is what comes up first in searches, and by the time you aggregate information, that bias makes it kind of believable and true, that if a lot of people are talking about this, then it's probably true, right? So that's why when we put out more positive videos, more positive storytelling, it kind of, you know, balances it out. And it will even be great if we can outdo the negative media. So that way, when searches go in and someone is looking for something, the positive stories come up first. Big shout out to Farouk Damilola, because I remember that I had seen a video like this before, right? And it's something that has been on top of my mind, and it just came back today, and I decided to make a video and talk to you guys about it. I want to know your thoughts concerning this. What do you think? And this is not to bring anybody down, because to be honest, the Nigerian movie industry, the African movie industry has pushed stories to places where many Africans would actually need visas to get into. So the movies are getting there, you know, the creative industry is pushing a lot of stuff out, and it's pretty amazing. I mean, we're proud to be a part of that community as well. So keep spreading positivity, guys. I'll see you on the next one.
Effectivement, le Nigeria, c'est un pays qui me plaît beaucoup. Mais c'est que les médias nous montrent une façade du Nigeria à cause de leur tradition, à cause de leur tradition, la magie d'argent chez eux. Donc, c'est ce que nous, les Ivoiriens, qu'on voit, c'est ce que nous passons. Voilà, ça fait ça.
Ils disent que au Nigeria, là, et tous les gens, quoi.